Hello everyone, welcome back. Savage is here, coming back with part 2 of What If Deku Had a Persona. And before we get right into it, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's just get right into it, even without a recap. Go watch the last part if you want a recap for yourself. Either way, now, Midoriya, after pressing on the app on his phone, suddenly he blinks his eyes and he finds himself in a black and red area all around of him. But the only thing that's obvious and so big in front of him is one giant hell of a castle right in the place of his school, as Midori just jaw-dropping saying, "What the hell? Where's the school?" As he's just looking around of him saying, "Where's the rest of the world? What the hell is happening? Damn it. I need to find a... You! As he just pressing on the app rapidly saying, "Get me out of here! You're the thing that got me in here! Get me out!" As Izuku just rapidly pressing on the app, but the app is just like, "Destination has been found already. Destination has been found already. Destination has been destination. As Midori just keeps saying, "Stop it already and get me back! You little..." Whatever. As he just put his phone in his pocket saying, "Well, if there is a way out of here, I believe it's not into the pits of darkness behind of me." As well, he just decided to step inside the castle. Right now, he's stepping inside, seeing a very beautiful design and such a beautiful art everywhere of this castle. All the walls are covered with such a pieces of art, with the face of someone that Midoriya doesn't really recognize a lot. I mean, well, it's a guy with a black hair and yellow eyes, wearing a crown and a cloak, but Midoriya doesn't know who's this guy, so he just continue walking saying, "Hello? Anybody? Hello? I need some help here. I got here by accident. I hope that you doesn't mind me coming through the main door." As before Midoriya just continues, suddenly lots of guards just jump down surrounding him, and Midoriya said, "What? Hey, I said that I didn't mean to come here. It wasn't..." As before he continue, suddenly he hears a sound saying, "Who interrupt my castle now?" As Midoriya looking up to see, well, a man wearing a crown with yellow eyes and a black hair, wearing a cloak on his body. As he looking down saying, "A child." As Midoriya said, "Hey, mister, I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to interrupt. I got here by accident. Can you help me to get out of here?" "Well then, you wanna get out of here, huh?" "Yes, please, if you don't mind." "Well, I'll let you get out of here." "Oh, thank you so much. I'm really back to hell." As Midoriya just suddenly snaps saying, "Wait, what? What do you mean by that?" As the guy said, "First of all, you need to know who I am. I am the king of this castle, and my name is Kamoshida. Remember it well, brat." As Midoriya said, "Hey, okay, Mr. Kamoshida, but can you please just allow me to leave? I'm sorry, I didn't mean not to knock on the door. There wasn't even a door at the..." "Silence! How dare you speak in the presence of the king? You're gonna pay with that behavior greatly. Guards, take him to the dungeon and kill him there." As Midoriya said, "Wait, what? Killing?" "Don't worry, it will be slow and painful, just the way that I like it." As well, the guards trying to grab Midoriya, while Midoriya said, hey, we didn't agree on this. It's not..." As well, one of the guards trying to grab Midoriya, but well, Midoriya just slides between his leg and starts running away saying, "I gotta get out of here!" As he was about to get out of the door, but suddenly it just shuts down with a giant, door of metal in front of him. As Midoriya said, "Cheek!" As he looking back and Kamoshida start laughing saying, There is no way for you to run out of my castle. You came inside of it, and you're gonna die in it. Guards! As well, the guards just continue surrounding Midoriya while he's... well, you know how Midoriya is. He's a smart child, but goddamn, he's not powerful at all. So he starts running with all what his heart can do. He's just running and running out while the guards are just behind of him. And Midoriya is saying in his head, "This is just the first day of my school. I wasn't expecting to get followed around by guards." As he immediately starts going through the place, through doors, until he finally got into a closed area with a giant picture on the wall. As Midoriya said, shit. What should I do? What should I do? I'm not gonna die here. I didn't even see my new school. As well, the guards start saying, "Where is he? I saw him got into that room. After him!" As well, they were about to come through the room. And, well, Midoriya just barricaded the door. While they are trying to break in, Midoriya just with his back against the photo on the wall saying, "Is that it? Am I really gonna die here on the hands of, these soldiers?" As he accidentally, trip into the picture on the wall. Turns out it's just a little secret entrance. And when Midoriya gone through it, the guards come through the door. But there is no Midoriya here, as the guard said, "You were wrong, he's not here. Let's continue searching, in the name of our king Kamoshida!" As they continue searching around, while with Midoriya that suddenly stumble and fall on the ground. He's just coughing, saying, "Damn it. Damn it. What a great first day, Mom. Put a good impression at your school. Make them know that you are friendly." Yeah, finally my school was that friendly. As Izuku looked to see that, he's in a class. But goddamn, what a weird class that is. As Izuku said, "Is this supposed to be a class?" But for a brief seconds, the class just shifted in front of his eyes into a normal class. And Midoriya said, "This is supposed to be one of the classes in the school. What's wrong with it?" As well, Izuku just opening the door of the class and started going around inside the dungeon. As Midoriya said, "So this is the place that they were talking about." As suddenly he just hearing the sound of a ball hitting something. And when he look into one of the cells, he just see a guy in a weird red outfit being hit with balls or volleyballs on his face, chained up by a chain from the ceiling, been holding upside down. As Midoriya said, "Ooh, hey, you okay there? Hey." As Midoriya, looking into more, cells, and they all having more people wearing the same outfit, being, quote-unquote, training. Or, as Midoriya said, what is this? What's happening here? Hey, you! Do you know if I can help you? Do you have any place of where is the key of the cell? As someone suddenly said, "Don't waste your time on them. They won't listen to you. They're just cognitions." As Midoriya said, "Wait, what?" As he said, "Here, come. Can you come here if you really want the keys? Why don't you free the only person that's able to talk here?" As Midoriya coming closer to finally seeing the cell, a weird shaped cat with a big head and blue eyes. As the cat said, "Great, now take that, key and open the cell for me. Would you?" As Midoriya is staring at us saying, "You're..." As Izuku just going on his legs saying, "What are you doing here? Why are you here? Can you tell me?" As well, the cat is quite visually confused. He's like, "What, have you ever saw a talking cat before?" It doesn't seem that surprised. As Midoriya said, "I saw a talking rat before. Does that count?" "Well, sure. By the way, can you help me to open the cell?" "Oh, sure, but before Midoriya opened it, he said, wait a minute. If you're here behind the cell, that means there is a reason for it. Why are you here exactly?" As the cat said, Please, kid, I'm not here because I'm a criminal or something. As Midoriya said, you say that while you're wearing a black mask on your face. Look, it's not this way. Just, how about we introduce ourselves first? My name is Morgana. Your name? Well, why should I tell you my name? Let me guess. You've been thrown here by the King Kamoshida, right? Wait, you know him? Yeah, hell I know him. He threw me here too. He captured me and put me behind the cell. So, can you please help me? Because he's the bad guy here, and I'm a good guy. Now, if you want, I can help you to get out of this castle. I know a couple of secret entrances and doors. Come on, we get to know each other. And maybe we help each other? Come on, me and you. Fine, as Midori just grabbed the keys and opening the cell saying. And Morgana said, thanks kid. Now, your name? Izuku Midoriya. Cool, as I told you, my name is Morgana. Now, after me, let's get out of here. As well, Izuku starts walking after Morgana while he sings, so what's this place? This is the Kamoshida's palace. Palace? Yes, it's his palace. The manifestation of his desires. Wait, what? Did I say something funny? Sorry, it's just manifestation of his desires. That's kind of funny. Well, it's not funny when they are gonna try to kill you. Oh, and by the way, if you died here, you die in the real world, so be careful. Oh, but why does he want to capture us? Well, because he believes that he's the king of this castle and he can do whatever he pleases with. This is his palace, the place that his mind created for him. This is how he sees the real world. As Midoriya said, see the real world? As you remember a bit, this castle was in the place of his school, as he said. Does this Kamoshida? You mean to tell me that he's a real person? Yes, he's a real person. What you saw just now was Kamoshida's shadow, the manifestation of his own desires. It's not the real him, but they are connected. However, the real him won't gonna know or understand what's happening here. As Midoriya said, oh, but this castle was in the place of my school when I came here. As Morgana said, so it's mean that he think of your school as his own castle. As Midoriya said, man, this is becoming more of a hell of a one day of school. Yeah, got here on your first day, hey? Maybe you should find yourself a new school. As Midoriya said, sorry, but well, I can't really go anywhere. This is the only school that, well, would accept a quirkless kid like me. Really? What do you mean? Quirkless? As Midoriya said, yeah, quirkless. I don't have a quirk. I don't quite understand what you mean by quirkless. As Midoriya said, quirkless, quirks, superpower abilities. You don't really know? As Morgana said, look, I don't really know. As Midoriya said, you are just a quirkless person, aren't you? Or a quirkless, quirked person. Or a quirked animal, aren't you? I'm not an animal. I'm Morgana, and I'm not a cat, especially of all. As Midoriya said, but you're in the shape of a cat. Well, I'm not a cat. However happened to me, I am not a cat. I'm sure that I am a human being. That got on there, stuck in the shape of a cat. As Midoriya said, okay, sure. So, where's this, place that we can get out of? Well, come after me. I know a place. Just right here. As well, Morgana just pointing on a photo on the wall. As Midoriya said, a picture on the wall? Oh, I get it. There is a secret entrance behind of it. Well, you know your things. Come on. As well, Morgana was about to open it, but before he continued, from behind, suddenly, someone just throws some chains on them, pinning them to the ground. As well, Morgana said, what the? As Midoriya said, damn it, are we followed? As they hear someone saying, indeed you are. You two have caused me so much trouble. Might as well get rid of you now, here, and in this moment. As Midoriya said, Mr. Kamoshida, you're a teacher at our school, right? Silence! As he just kicked him into the wall, saying, this is not a school. This is my castle, my territory, and you came inside of it. You die in it for all the trouble that you caused me. As Midoriya said, I didn't mean to. Can you just leave us go? How can I leave you go? I'm not gonna leave you to go anywhere. For all your insolence and your behavior on my land, you shall die. Guards, as well, the guards just putting their swords into the neck of Morgana, while Izuku said, damn it. As Morgana said, come on kid, do anything. Use those weird special, powers that you just talked about. As Midoriya said, I can't. As well, Kamoshida said, you can't? Oh, wait a minute, you are the new slave that was been sent into my castle. Now I remember you. I read you in the files that I found in the, my office. So it's you, Izuku Midoriya, the quirkless new slave of mine, huh? As Midoriya said, you know? As well, he put his feet on Midoriya's head, saying, of course I know. I wouldn't waste the chance of getting a new toy to play with. As he just kicked him into the wall, saying, what can you do, you quirkless little brat? You are not welcome anywhere. The only thing that you are used for is just to cover some space. As he kicked him again, saying, you're nothing more than a brat in the street, doesn't deserve to live. You are quirkless, might as well take your own life. As he just kicking him while laughing maniacally, saying, and you dare to come to my castle by your own feats. Do you really wish to die so much? As he kicked him against the wall, saying, if you really want to die so much, if you really wanted to have a quirk so badly, why don't you take a swan dive off the roof and wish that you're gonna get a quirk in your next life? As well, Midoriya's eyes just whiting while Kamoshida just continued kicking him, saying, I love dying with slaves like you, just weaklings that doesn't know anything in their life. The only thing that you are useful for, well, is nothing. You're only someone to feed, just a food consumer. Nothing more than a waste of energy. As he just continued kicking him while laughing maniacally, and Midoriya's just eyes are empty. He just empty, as he said, he's right. Inside his head, oh, what I'm useful for is nothing. I should have taken Katsuki's advice a long time ago. What's the point of trying anyway? I'm gonna die here, so it's no use. Are you gonna let him talk to you like that? As Midoriya looking into Morgana. And Kamoshida said, silence. It's not here. As Morgana continues saying, are you gonna really just continue letting him talk about you like this? Aren't you tired of this? Seriously, he's insulting you and you're just taking his kicks. Come on already, stand up for yourself, defend yourself. You can't just act as a toy. Don't let this world form you. Form your own path in this world. You are not a prisoner of anyone, and you are not specially a prisoner of your own fate. So refuse it already and stand up for yourself. Can you? For your own sake. Don't you have family to go back to? People that loves you? Why are you sitting on the ground letting him insult you like this? Aren't you tired of all these insults? As well, Kamoshida said, I said silence! As he kicked Morgana away, saying, you can't have caused me trouble long enough. I'm gonna deal with you later, the moment that I'm done from this. But before he managed to continue, suddenly, well, Kamoshida feeling a hand grabbing into his leg. And when he looked back into Midoriya that's on the ground, he just see Midoriya grabbing and squeezing his leg so hard as, well, he started feeling some pain until he go back and Midoriya said, get your feet off of me! As he just go back and Midoriya said, I grew tired of your insolence. I grew tired of you all. I'm not gonna be pushed around by you any longer. As for a second, Midoriya suddenly head starts hurt as he falls on the ground in pain, holding into his face, screaming on the top of his lung while hearing a sound in his head saying, "Finally decided to break this glass that surrounds you? Finally decided to see the truth that surrounds you? Have you finally got tired of those people that telling you you're nothing? Telling you what's your worth? Haven't you decided to finally break the mask that hides you? Haven't you decided to decide your own fate? To take your own worth? To be your own self? Well, if that's it, you finally have decided. You made us wait so long. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Well, how about we make a contract? I am thou. Thou art I. It's finally time for you to break through these lies and to decide your own fate. Don't look down on yourself any longer." As suddenly, when Midoriya stand up, Morgana and the guard and Kamoshida just see a mask on Midoriya's face. As Midoriya said, "What the?" As he's trying to take it off, saying, "Off! Just off!" As well, he just grabbing it so hard that he tear off the skin of his face with it, saying, "Get off of my face!" As suddenly he screams on the top of his lung with blood dripping from his face, and he just start as he look into Kamoshida with glowing yellow eyes, blood covering his face and dripping into the ground, making the core of Morgana and Kamoshida shake, as suddenly blue flames manifest out of his body, creating a form of a giant tall man with black wings, a smiling face with a top hat. As well, the guy immediately just, take out his wings, shooting blue flames into the guards, while Kamoshida stands back saying, "What's the meaning of this? Guards, protect me!" As the guards coming closer. While Midoriya said, "No use," as he just shoot more of these blue flames into the guards, absolutely annihilating them, freeing Morgana, as Morgana said, "You finally awakened your persona?" As Midoriya just looking at him saying, "Persona? We're gonna talk things later. For the meantime, can you make us a distraction?" "Well, gladly," as he just throws some fire into the ground, making a wall of flames, while Kamoshida said, "Guards, get them!" But when the flames get out of the way, they don't see them anywhere, while Kamoshida said, "Damn it! Damn it! They ran off! Search the whole castle! I want the heads of both of those two idiots on my table!" As, while they are searching the place, Midoriya and Morgana managed to run out into the outside part of the castle. As, Midoriya and Morgana suddenly back into the real world, and Midoriya finding himself outside of the school again, saying, what? As when he look around, he just see, his bag on the ground, and a cat, a black cat that just, meows and ran off. As Midoriya said, "Huh? What?" As he hear a sound from his phone saying, you have came back into the real world. Destination is located to travel to whenever you please." As Midoriya said, "What the hell?" As he just looking left and right, seeing some students just looking at him, but they just continue their way. Midoriya just grabbing his bag, grabbing his phone and said, "What happened?" As he heard a sound saying, "Hey, you doesn't want to get late on your first day, don't you? So come on already." As Midoriya just looked to see, "Kamoshida?" As the guy said, "You know who I am? Well, seeing that you've done your research. Well, how about you put a first good impression and got into your class already, kid?" As Midoriya just said, but, what's wrong? You seem like you saw a shadow. Did something happen to you? Come on already. Now it's not the time. As Midori just shaking his head and Kamoshida just, well, come down from the stairs, grabbing him, lifting him up, saying, "Come on already, to your class!" As he just hit him on his back, saying, "You don't want to get late on your first day, do you?" As, well, Midori just starts walking inside the school while looking back into Kamoshida, and for a brief moment, he see the other Kamoshida, as he said, "And don't ever step a foot inside my castle again." As Midori eyes he just shake his eyes saying, "What?" But either way, he just came inside his class. And well, sit down in the class. The first class is, well, he start being introduced into the rest of the class, as the teacher said, "Alright class, we have a new student, and it's Izuku Midoriya. Please introduce yourself." As Izuku said, "My name is Izuku Midoriya. I love taking notes and like heroes." As, well, one of the students said, "So, what's your quirk?" As Midori said, "Oh, well, I'm quirkless." As, well, most of them are surprised, while Miss Kawakami said, "Well then, take your seat beside Mishima, will you?" As Izuku just sit down and take his seat beside Mishima. As Miss Kawakami said, "Well then, now for the first class." As she started talking and, well, studying the students while Midori is just thinking to himself, drawing inside his notebook what he saw. A guy with a crown on his head and a pink cloak. A cat with a big head that's able to talk. A guard with the silver armor. And more importantly, that giant tall man. For some reason, Midori just know him by the name Arsene. When did he get that name, he doesn't know, but what a weird dream. As Midori immediately, suddenly, someone just throws something at him. Being Miss Kawakami throwing her, well, a paper on him saying, "Midoriya, yeah? Can you solve this equation?" As Midori said, "What equation?" "This. Solve this math problem if you are really listening to us." As Midori looking at it and said, "The answer is 1786 minus 0. Oh, well, your answer is alright beside the minus 0 thing, because remember, there's nothing called minus 0. There's only 0. No minus and no plus." As Midori said, "Yes, sorry." As Miss Kawakami said, "Well, at least it's good to know that you are focusing with us. Now, please focus more." As some students start talking, saying, "You figured that out so quickly? He's really smart. Maybe I should take some of his notes later." As, well, after the class, Midori had gone into the cafeteria. As he just sit down and start eating his food, still wondering, what was all of that? What was any of that? As, well, for some reason he just hearing someone like meowing. And when he looked outside of the window of the cafeteria, he just see the same black cat looking at him. While Midori is saying, "What's wrong with this black cat now?" As when he sit down, he hears someone saying, "Can I sit by you? Beside you?" As Midori looking to see the same kid that he was sitting next in the class. As Midori said, "Oh, sure, of course." As he said, "Thanks. And by the way, my name is Mishima. You already heard that, right?" "Yeah, nice meeting you, Mishima. My name is Midoriya." "Well, I was surprised that you actually saw that equation. You're really smart." "Thanks, it's kind of the only thing that makes me special." "Well, don't worry, I understand you. I'm also quirkless myself." "Wait, really?" "Yeah, it's, well, I'm not the most luckiest person." As Midori just looking at him, seeing him with a couple of, well, a bandage on his hand and a punch on his face, like a bit of a mark. As Midori said, did someone punch you?" "And no, some criminals tried to mug me in there." alleyways. And they took my money, so nothing to worry about. Oh, alright. So, what kind of heroes do you like, Mishima? Well, to be honest with you, I kinda like All Might. As Midori suddenly starts coughing, saying, What? Are you okay? I'm fine, just please change that. Let's change the topic. Okay. Alright. As after Izuku talking for a minute, suddenly he hears a sound from behind saying, well, it seems that Mishima finally found someone from his own kind. Right, guys? As Midoriya just looking behind to see a guy staring down at him with a smile on his face as he said, So, you're the new quirkless kid, eh? Ah, how funny. Finally, maybe you won't gonna get all the bullying, Mishima. As Midoriya said, What do you want? What? You know, the cafeteria have ran out of food, so you wouldn't mind me taking your food, wouldn't you? As he put his hand on Midoriya's plate, but before he continues, suddenly, Midoriya just grabbed his hand and punched him in his face, saying, Get away! I'm not gonna eat bullshit from you anymore! As he just looking frustrated on him, as the guy's nose start to bleed, as he said, What the? As he's staring up into Midoriya's eyes, that with a killing intense, so much that he starts crawling back, saying, Hey, calm down, as Midoriya grabbing him by his shirt, saying, You wanna go me? You little asshole? I'm gonna beat you to a brim of blood! As, well, Midoriya was about to punch him before the other guy stopping him, and immediately, someone said, What's happening here? As, well, Izuku just leaving the guy, and Mishima said, Mr. Kamoshida! As Kamoshida is looking, seeing one on the ground and the new kid, as he said, What's happened here? As the bully said, He punched me. I was just trying to be friendly, but he punched me in my face. As well, Izuku said, But you... As Kamoshida grabbing Midoriya's hand, saying, A very good impression for a first day. You are going to the principal office, kid. As Midoriya said, But... Now, as, well, he just grabbed him to the principal office. As Kamoshida said, Principal, this kid right here have punched a child in his face so hard that he starts bleeding out of his nose. As the principal said, Well, it seems that you have a problems. Don't you, Izuku Midoriya? As Izuku said, He was trying to take my food. As Kamoshida said, Really? That wasn't what I saw. As the principal said, Mr. Kamoshida, can you leave us for a minute? Of course. As, well, the principal said, Look here, Midoriya. I saw your grades and you're a very smart child. It will be a very waste if I just let you, well, expelled you for this day. So, I'll just gonna give you a warning. Don't bully any more kids, understood? But I wasn't bullying him, he was trying... I said, don't hit anybody anymore, understood? Of course, Principal. Good. Now you can leave. And don't cause me any more trouble. As Izuku just bowed and left the class. And while he walked past, a girl with a brown hair that, well, looked at him, but she just continued her way into the principal office. While Midoriya started walking, he met with Mishima again, as Mishima said, You okay? As Izuku looking at him saying, Why didn't you defend me? You clearly saw what's happening. They were trying to mug us. It's more complicated than you think. What's so complicated about it? Look, just don't talk about it. If you ever saw Mr. Kamoshida, just don't try to get against him, alright? As Midoriya said, What's so special about Kamoshida? You won't understand, alright? It's just a long story. Just be careful, alright, Midoriya? As Mishima just walks past Midoriya away, while Izuku said in his head, What's wrong with that Mishima? As Midoriya remembering, saying, This is cool as the place of that palace that cat talked about. And Mushima in this place is the same Mushima there. A world created by someone's desire. A palace where everything a person thinks of the real world is manifested in the way that he thinks about it. Does that mean that this place, this school, Kamoshida think of this place as his own castle? What am I thinking about? That was just a dream. As Midori just continue walking back into his class, and after the school day is over, Midori had just left the school and starts walking back into his home. Well, of course, coming back into his home and coming through the door, taking a nap after telling his mother what's happened with him in the first day, telling it was, well, good. But she got a call from the principal telling her that Midoriya was, well, punched someone in his face. After Midoriya, well, just explaining a bit to his mother, Inko told him not to get into trouble anymore, and he got into his room to sleep. And that's how I met Mushima. A place between mind and matter? Kamoshida's castle, yes. He was one of your targets. The question is, how did you manage to change his heart? How did you manage to do it without a quirk? Or are you still hiding your quirk from us? As Midori said, I told you for the last time, I am quirkless. What you've done and what you accomplished is not something that a quirkless child can do. Besides, I was surprised how you were able to do your crimes while you still in the middle school. Nobody will ever gonna suspect a child by a crime so strong as these. Now, for the meantime, what you're saying is quite makes sense. Kamoshida was your first target, however, I still do not believe in your other world and the palaces that you're talking about. So, continue your story. As Midori just looking at her saying, can I take a rest for a minute? I need some water. As Sai said, alright then, I'll bring you some. As she left the place to bring some water to Midoriya. But when she left, Midoriya just hearing a sound of a butterfly saying, you can't forget who you are. The fate of this reality lies in your hands. You need to remember what's happened to you. Remember all the bonds that you created with your friends. Those that surrounds you, that give you power. Why did you left them? Why did you betray them like this? As suddenly the butterfly sound just disappeared and Midori closing his fist saying, I didn't betray them. Stop saying that in my head. I didn't hurt anybody. That wasn't my fault. It was his fault. It was his fault. It was his fault. As Midori just leaning his head on the table. And this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you think about this part and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Savert was here.